Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again today to bring you a short review of Splice. Splice is an, in quotation marks, experimental and artistic puzzler developed by Cypherprime Studio with the dreaded casual label, and I must admit that I didn't have high hopes going into this game. Fortunately, the casual label is capable of surprising even me sometimes. I started the game just hoping that I could avoid quitting before I got the video content for doing a review, which I expected to be awful. I know I'm biased, I'm not a casual gamer, and I really dislike the casual gaming tag, but this game was quite fantastic. I loved the music, I loved the gameplay, and I liked the design. The gameplay in Splice consists mostly of rearranging cells in a structure to try to fit the desired shape in the correct amount of moves, or as the game likes to call them, in the correct amount of splices. This starts very simple in the first few levels and just involves moving cell segments around, but gradually gets more complicated as the game progresses. The initial sequences, as the game likes to call their levels, all introduce new mechanics to the game. The first sequence, like I said, just introduces moving things around, gets you used to the controls, but the second sequences, third sequence, fourth, and all the way up to 7 introduce new mechanics. The second sequence has a mechanic where you are allowed to split a certain chain, so if you use one of the splitting cells, it will split the entire segment after that into new cells. If that doesn't make sense, I have some video examples going on in the background for you. The third sequence introduces growth, which will allow cells to grow by one extra cell. And the fourth sequence introduces cell destruction, which is a cool little mechanic, or at least a mechanic used in a cool way, that allows you to get rid of some of the parts of the cell to sort of narrow it down and make it fit in the amount of space that the game wants you to. All these mechanics combine in really satisfying ways in the later levels to allow you to feel like you're making progress, feel like your mind has made leaps and bounds to figure all this out, because you're having a hard time with it even on the earlier puzzles, and it just sort of expands and expands to the point where you're understanding the mechanics, and you're understanding what goes where and how to look at this cell structure they've given you. Very satisfying and a very cool way of designing a game. Now, I'm going to go with my usual pros and cons strategy here, and you might think from my initial description that there aren't many cons, but like in every game, there are cons to be had. My first major complaint is that this game is way too short. I finished the first 7 sequences in 1.5 hour sitting, which is the main game as they call it, and there are epilogue levels, but I'm not sure how long those epilogue levels are or if they're any good. I also feel that the game is trying way too hard and failing to be artsy. It's trying to be artsy in a very Starbucks way. And I hate to say that again, and I hate to use that term, but it's just kind of hipster art, which to me isn't really art. I've never looked at anything a hipster's made and been like, wow, that is awe-inspiring. This is a fun game, but the art style and atmosphere, even though I like it, is nothing special. It is the exact same art style that has been showing up over and over again in all these indie games. In all these indie casual games, I should say. I also feel that the game ekes a lot from a game called Fold It, which is a science-based game that was developed by, I forget where, some sort of school somewhere to help to try to get gamers to help figure out the protein shapes of a lot of major diseases such as AIDS. It was very successful, and because of gamers' instincts, they managed to find several things that it had been taking scientists years and years to find out. This game's called Fold It, and is a very good game, and if you want to play it, it helps out some scientists. The pros, on the other hand, you've heard me say already. The game is fun, relaxing, and challenging in just the right way to let your mind relax and take in the experience. You don't have to think way too hard about it, and there's never any stress or time constraints put on you. It makes the game very fun to play and very relaxing. In conclusion, for anyone who enjoys puzzlers, mind benders, or casual games at all, I would really recommend this game. If, however, you're the type to only enjoy larger titles or ones that give you more gameplay for the price, It's a good game, but at the price of $9.99, it's a bit expensive for the content it delivers. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.